to discuss. When it come to news, ain't no better than us. When it come to news, ain't no one you can trust. We got a lot to touch, so it's time to crush. We got a lot to discuss. When it come to news, ain't no better than us. When it come to news, ain't no one you can trust. We got a lot to touch, so it's time to crush. So it's time to crush.
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. And this video is for members only first. And you guys are going to have this video at least for, I don't know, 15, 20 hours ahead of time. And I want to thank each and every last one of you for being members, because you keep the lights on. But again, it goes out to everyone else, subs alike. Hit that notification bell so you can get this. Now, we saw the financials of the Sony brand this week, and we also got a lot of telling stuff to talk about. And this video is going to focus squarely on the financials. No fluff, no missteps, just the pure, unadulterated truth when it comes to what's going on with PlayStation. But this is an Xbox channel, and you will get Xbox news. So again, we have Project Helix to talk about. We have the future of Xbox. We have the brand we know and love, while also looking at a brand in disarray, dismay, and dysfunction. Xbox has did a 180, while PlayStation has done one as well. Xbox is going in the right direction, while PlayStation is heading in the other. Can PlayStation right the ship the same way that Xbox did? I don't think they can do it in one generation. The same way Xbox was able to make a pivot, a switch, a change, and do everything that the fan base has asked of it. PlayStation right now looks like it's circling the drain. And the prophecy of hashtag no PlayStation 6, you know what it is. We're going to run it up on these bums. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. Seems to be becoming truer and truer day by day. I don't know what reality or universe we're in right now, but no one could have predicted these levels of circumstances that has hidden the Sony brand in such a magnitude. But let's get to this Xbox news while we finish up with Sony. Now, everyone tuning in for the Xbox update on Project Helix was kind of left a little bit wanting. We realized that this week that we got the information from the Xbox Spring update when it came to the development conference. Now, the GDC brought us great information early on this year. We thought in May we would have a little bit more, a little bit of the nuance. They did bring a lot of things for developers, a lot of conversation for developers. And this was mainly a rehash of the March show, but with a little bit more flair for the developers. Now, if you just tuned in for this, well, you're going to have to wait till later on this year. Like Jason Ronald said, we will have more on Project Helix later this year. Microsoft is holding an Xbox game development today, and it was dope. It was good. For all developers, the information is there. For all us regular folk, well, we wanted some more meat to go with that potatoes. We will have to wait a little bit longer. The June showcase is showing up, where I'm pretty sure we will get more information about Project Helix. Do you want an Xbox console for $200? Well, Geeky Gadgets might have something right up your alley. Now, Geeky Gadgets brings this information, and this is Julian Holsey that brings this information. A budget Xbox Project Helix S series leaked with a price point of $200. Now, the title's a little bit misleading, and let me get on to the piece and the body of the work. Xbox is advancing its next generation plans with Project Helix, a console that combines the elements of a PC and console gaming in a unified system. This new flagship next-gen Xbox is expected to feature a PC hybrid architecture, which could enhance graphical performance and enable better integration across platforms. In addition, Xbox is reportedly considering a significant price reduction for the Xbox Series S, potentially lowering it to $200. This strategy highlights Xbox's effort to appeal to both the high-performance enthusiasts and gamers seeking more of affordable options. Discover how Project Helix hybrid architecture could influence the game development and performance benchmarks. Here's the key takeaways. Xbox is introducing a dual console strategy with a high-performance Project Helix and a more affordable Series S, aiming to cater to both premium and budget-conscious gamers. Project Helix is priced at $800, featuring a PC hybrid design that combines the flexibility of the PC gaming with the simplicity of a console, enhancing both gaming performance and development efficiency. The Xbox Series S, potentially priced at $200, will rely on cloud gaming technology to overcome the hardware limitations and deliver modern gaming experiences at an affordable price. Xbox is addressing the hardware challenges by promoting optimized development practices and using cloud-based solutions to ensure compatibility and accessibility across its diverse lineup. Speculation about the potential handheld gaming device highlights Xbox's commitment to innovation, adaptability, as it also seeks to compete in a rapidly evolving gaming market. Now, if you want to read more on this article, I highly suggest you go over to Geeky Gadgets. And Julian Halsey did a nice piece. It's a think piece that gives you the options of having a hybrid console at an affordable price of $800. I think the next Xbox will be slightly higher. But with the Series S at $200, well, some people say you can't beat that with a baseball bat. PlayStation has almost $1 billion in impairments due to the Bungie operating income. Now, we're going to get into this and we're going to talk about this because this is the one that is hitting PlayStation itself, the brand, the hardest. And this is brought to you by GamesIndustry.biz and Sophie McCoy. PlayStation's record $765 million impairment loss from Bungie as an operating income falls to 41.6% in the fourth quarter. The full-year operating income from Sony games and network services rises to 12%, while its net sales remain absolutely flat. Sony has released a full-year financial reports, reporting on stable sales and modest increase in operating income from its game and networks and services. However, performance in the segment was also affected by a 41.6% decline in operating income and a lower PlayStation 5 unit sales for the year. Sony has recorded almost $1 billion in impairment related to Bungie after this title portfolio, which includes Destiny 2 and Marathon, after they did not meet expectations. The net sales was up 3.7% year over year, with the operating income up 13% year over year, and that's games and networks and services was up 0.3% year over year, and game and networks and operating income was up 12%. Net sales was up 8.3% year over year. Operating income was up 24% year over year. Games and networks was up 2.8% year over year, while operating income was down. Oh, sorry. I said up. I apologize. Network and services sales was down 2.8% year over year, while the networks and services operating income was down 41.6% year over year. Now, what we're going to see is the capital gains was operating income reached a record high driven by higher sales and favorable foreign exchange rates despite the impairment loss from Bungie. Going forward, Sony wants to aim to improve the performance of the game by working on to retain highly engaging core users through introduction of additional content, further improvements in its gameplay experience, and expansion on the user base. PlayStation sales units declined to 16 million from 18 million last year in the fourth quarter. 1.5 million units were sold compared to 2.8 of the same period last year. It's a steep decline, and it only seems to be getting worse. A look ahead, Sony forecasts a 6% decrease in GNNS segment review and a 30% increase in operating income. If you want to read more about the article, I highly suggest you go to gamersindustry.biz, where Sophie McCoy gives you the meat and potatoes of where Sony stands in the ecosystem. Are you wondering if PlayStation has given up on PC? Well, so is The Outer Haven. The Outer Haven with Keith Mitchell takes a deep dive into the conversation surrounding Sony's one foot in, one foot out approach when it comes to PC, leaving a lot of gamers up in the air and not telling them exactly what they want to hear. PlayStation's PC strategy needs clarity, not more mixed signals. PlayStation has every right to decide where its games goes. This is where Sony Studios and Sony Games and Sony Platform, but the conversation around the PlayStation pulling back from the PC has become exhausting. Mostly because PlayStation itself hasn't said anything officially. You heard me right. They haven't said anything officially. No PlayStation blog posts, no investors calls confirmation, no statement from leadership, just reports that have snowballed into people acting as if Sony has already confirmed it's done with PC entirely. This is what I'm trying to explain. A lot of these grifting journalists actually tell you that PlayStation is pulling away from the market, when in reality they aren't. Marvel Token will definitely make it over to the PC market, and I'm looking forward to it eagerly, so I can use my Razer Kinetic to definitely play it, and also use my Razer Wolverine version V3 Pro to have fun playing the game. But at this moment, PlayStation has neither confirmed or denied the moving back from the PC. And the PC market is as strong and as eager and unforgiving as ever. Here's the thing though, I think PlayStation is walking away from PC would be a huge mistake, and not because of platform loyalty, because the strategy was flawed from the start. Everyone says this. You cannot release games later. The zeitgeist moment is all important when it comes to PC ports. So either ish or get off the pot. One foot in or both feet in. I told you, PlayStation is never leaving that bag on the table. They will pick the bag up and they will make sure that it's delivered. PC guys, you're safe, you're fine. The king says so. And I want you to enjoy. But this is The Outer Haven, and this is brought to you by Keith Mitchell. There's a longer read to it, so I suggest you go over it and give him a read. Now, if you want news on the PlayStation 6, well, I got it for you. And this is by Ben Browski from Screen Rant. The PlayStation 6 official release date and pricing update shared by Sony. Now, Xbox has been sharing plenty of its teasers for its next generation project Helix recently, but Sony has been a good deal quieter on the PlayStation 6. But this latest update from the PlayStation 6 comes courtesy of Sony's financial reports for the 2025 fiscal year, released in an earnings announcement on Friday, May 8th, along with the details about most of its recent sales of the PlayStation 5. The report addressed a question about how to increase the cost of components could affect the PlayStation 6. In a financial call, Sony's president, CEO Hiroki Totoki shared that Sony has not yet decided on what timing it will launch the new console or what prices it will be. Totoki noted that the components costs are expected to be and remain high in 2026 fiscal year, meaning that the PlayStation will need to really observe and follow the situation. This may not simply mean waiting out the market or selling the consoles at a significant higher, Totoki explains. This would mean to think about various simulations, including changing business models to come up with the best solution and strategy. It's not clear what this shift can entail, but as Xbox pivots to a console that can play PC games and Valve's Steam machine infiltrates the console market as the living room's PC, the next generation could end up looking very different as a whole. I highly suggest you go take a read, go get over to Screen Rant, and check out Ben Borowski's review, interview, and also his report. Me personally, I cannot wait to talk more about the PlayStation 6 and what it truly means to not show up. Sony has already lost a case for $8 million to the gamers. Now they're being attacked by developers. This is brought to you by John Walker. PlayStation pricing is on trial again as Sony fights for 30% fees. The PlayStation You Owe Us class action lawsuit sums it up this week. Back in 2022, we first reported on the news that a consumer rights group in the UK was attempting to launch the British equivalent of a class action lawsuit. It's the same, but with more you. Against Sony on the basis that the company charges 30% commission fees for all digital purchase, with no option for the competition. After failing to get its multi-billion-dollar PlayStation You Owe Us lawsuit thrown out in 2023, Sony time in court comes to an end this week. And if it all sounds familiar, yes, it was only this week that Sony lost a similar case in California. The argument in both cases is that Sony is being the sole store distributor for the digital purchases on the PlayStation. Sony is able to enforce the 30% cut for every sale without fear of being undercut by others, although the US version was more significantly focused on vouchers sold by other outlets, where other stores was able to sell digital PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games. There would be a market in competition, the US claims. I'm explaining to you. This $2.6 billion class action lawsuit is something to terrify PlayStation. But already losing the $8 million in the US and California, well, the UK has stepped up the goal and stepped up the odds. PlayStation might lose this one as well. And then that opens up the floodgates for what transpires with Sony next. While PlayStation seems to ever be falling backwards, business-wise, financials, and Xbox seems to be surging forward, be it video games, be it consoles, be it shares, be it stocks, be it messaging. We understand that this is a tale of two cities. One city is building, rebuilding, growing, and thriving, while the other one is tearing itself apart, falling apart at the seams, looking at disrepair and ruin. This only stands the chance that PlayStation is on its last legs. With releasing Soros and the game not charting in the top 10, well, that's something to be fearful about. With more and more games adopting Play Anywhere, well, nobody's playing PlayStation anywhere. Things must change in order to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I hope for PlayStation's sake, they get it together. Honestly, I do. Because I got a VR2 headset, PlayStation VR2, that I can't sell and is absolutely worthless. And I have to play what little games actually trickles out on the platform. With rumblings of a PlayStation handheld coming out, displacing the PlayStation Portal, I wonder where that leaves Portal owners as beta testers, as test dummies. With the baseline PlayStation 5 about to be supplanted by the PlayStation handheld console, with the PlayStation 5 Pro possibly being the last console for the brand, PlayStation walks into a crossroads. If this financial period is down, what about next? And the one after? With 41.6 being the barometer, what's next? 50? 60? It's hard to believe in just little of a year, PlayStation is looking at the brink. If their stocks hits the low of $15, well, that's the part where you start to signal doom. Because right now, Sony is giving a $3 billion buyback to share owners to artificially inflate the stock, to give it an artificial thought of health, when we all know that stock is nothing close to healthy. Well, I want to thank each and every last one of you for watching the video. I know this is serious business, and I know you come here for serious PlayStation news. Where others won't give it to you, X is going to give it to you. Boy, and I heard you like it raw. Pause. But I want you to do what I'm about to do. I want you to go with gamers game and winners win. And I want you to try to play the Game Pass.
I found that you can win more when you surround yourself with more winners. I found that putting yourself in the environment of motivational, inspirational personnel, people that just want shit out of life, it's addictive. You get that, like that rubs off. So my surroundings changed. My ideas grew. My wants grew.